Okay, it looks like I am live. Okay, so Game Informer magazine put out a huge article in their magazine, but you have to be subscribed, and I was able to find a way to get it online, and it's such a big article that I thought I'd just go ahead and live stream it and read it and try to read all of it. There's a lot of photos and stuff, tons of information. So we'll get started here. And this is being streamed straight from my phone, so hopefully we can get through this. And hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Okay, so Paint It Black. Here we go. We go hands-on with Call of Duty Black Ops 4 new Battle Royale mode to see how it stacks up against the world-class competition. All right. Hopefully you guys can hear me before I start. And hopefully I can read all this. If not, I'll just scroll through it and you guys can. I'm gonna lower my desk. I have a standing desk. Okay. All right. So it says, in every Call of Duty discussion, there's always the uninformed take that argues the franchise is the same every year. This sentiment could be more wrong. Over the last few installments, we traveled to space, explored futuristic weapons and mobility enhancements, and gone back to boots on the ground in World War II. This year, Treyarch goes a step further and takes a monumental risk by stripping one of the core Call of Duty experiences, the single-player campaign. Instead, we're getting a new Battle Royale mode, Blackout. Treyarch is no stranger to risk, pioneering the now ubiquitous, I can't say it, zombie mode, delving into bizarre and cerebral storytelling, and now removing a core component of the series for what some would call trend chasing. Treyarch risks alienates staunch franchise advocates, but the large, socially infused suite of multiplayer options could prove incredibly sweet as well, especially by taking the popular Battle Royale genre and infusing Call of Duty's signature polish, refinement, and iteration. After a few hours with the game, I'm confident that this daring shift will yield immense rewards for the franchise. And then we get our first picture here. I don't know if you guys can identify this at all. We've got like a lighthouse situation, and that is very cool looking. Let me make sure I can see the chat. If I totally like screw up some words, you guys are gonna have to just forgive me. Trying to read stuff live is not fun. But yeah, that is a very cool image there. Okay, so base jumping into the fray. Blackout mode undoubtedly draws plenty of inspiration from other Battle Royale games, but Treyarch injects enough of its own DNA to make even the most diehard Fortnite acolytes or player-unknown battlegrounds advocates take notice. A blend of great shooting, awesome vehicles, cool weapons and items, and even clear implementation of AI zombies makes for an intense, enjoyable battle that plays out differently every time. As I sit down to be the first person to play Blackout outside of Activision employees, the session chatter is reminiscent of my own home Battle Royale game on Discord with my crew. Playful smack talk, old rivalries, drop location discussions. We're playing with 80 people today, which Treyarch says is the number for the Blackout beta, though internally the studio has tested well over 100. Blackout features solo duos and four-person squads known as quads in team play. Friendly fire is on, so you need to be careful. I'm teamed up with studio design director David Lord Vondahar, who as animated as ever and eager to get into the game. Vondahar is a quintessential hardcore gamer, the kind of person you would expect to lead an old-school World of Warcraft raid or brutal game of Dungeons & Dragons. He dials down deep into the system and mechanics, and he immediately outlines how things work in this squad. Call out the number of enemies, distance, and a nearby identifiable object when you spot a target. We get another picture here. More of the coastline. It almost looks like GTA, right? I do see that a lot. BSJ in your house. Rip Fortnite, yeah. So I'll let you guys check out that image. What do you guys think about that? Isn't there a map called like, oh my gosh, it's got a huge satellite on it. I'm not sure. Hey, what's up, Ducky Lucky? So another new image there on the coast. And it does. It looks like GTA for real. Jeez. Before we can start playing, we select characters. There's a large roster to pick from, and Vandahar says many more will be added after launch. You unlock more as you play, forming the backbone of the progression system in Blackout. You can pick memorable faces from throughout the history of the Blackout series, including campaign heroes, zombie mode stars, and Blackout-specific characters new to the franchise. These combatants are strictly cosmetic. Everyone drops into Blackout with nothing, but how do we drop in? That's what we want to know. But they're a fun way to show off some of your accomplishments or bring some style into a match. I pick Scarlet, one of the new zombie mode editions, and get ready to rock. All right. A flying formation of drop choppers take a set path across the map so your team can plan a starting location on the map, which looks comparable in size to those in Fortnite or PUBG. We decide to visit an iconic Black Ops region, Nuketown Island. See, that was leaked that it was going to be on an island, and it really is. That's so cool. And by the time we dive out, almost no one else is left on the chopper. It is, oh, so you have to, like, get there from, like, air or something. That's so cool, or swim out. It's a safe drop by any standard while speeding toward the ground. I learned about the wingsuit every player brings to the fray. You drop extremely fast out of the sky and can position yourself toward drop locations quickly, covering great distance in a short amount of time. Your automated parachute, kicks in right before you hit the ground, likely only for a few seconds, depending on the drop. So you're using the wingsuit to navigate around to get to where you want to go, and the parachute is going to be automated. Like, you don't trigger that. Okay. This is important outside of the drop phase as well, as you can base jump anytime when your vertical situation calls for it. Whether you want to leave a tall structure or need to bail from an MH6 Little Bird light helicopter you found on the map. Base jumping also has combat applications both for initiating and getting out of battle. Mastering it is a definite boon. Be careful, there's fall damage, and mistiming base jumps or helicopter exits can cause an embarrassing death. All right. So this is the first time I'm reading it, and I'm reading it for you guys. So I'm learning as you guys are learning about this. Next section says, do it with character. When you first start the mode, Blackout offers a few generic playable characters, but the unlockable roster of family and new faces is deep, with more than 20 characters to pick from and many more on the way. Cosmetic characters are your primary customization and progression element in Blackout. That's going to be awesome. Many classic names from previous Treyarch made Call of Duty campaigns are playable, like Frank Woods, Victor Reznov, Raul Mendez, and Alex Mason. That's going to be cool to see Mason. Fan favorites from Zombies mode can be unlocked, including Takeo Misaki, Tank Dempsey, Edward Richtofen, and Nikolai. Awesome. The Call of Duty Black Ops 4 specialists and new Zombies cast also make appearances. Each character is unlocked by completing a unique mission. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. For example, to gain access to the specialist character battery, you have to find her War Machine grenade launcher in a game, get a few kills with it, and finish among the top 15 players. That is freaking awesome. Missions vary in complexity, and some of the more iconic combatants may require multiple missions to unlock. Often items related to these character unlock missions take up inventory space and can be dropped and lost on death. So you may be able to steal someone's special item and collect a character for yourself. That is cool. So you can be like stealing unlocks. Hopefully my mic's not freaking out. Okay. Studio design director David Vandahar isn't concerned that the unlocks could be too difficult. He says it will be easy to tune things and change them in case players are having a lot of trouble collecting certain ones. He also says Treyarch will likely create event weekends where it will be far easier to obtain character items and complete their missions. Other cosmetic things like calling cards and icons can be unlocked in Blackout as well, but none of the characters, including the generic ones, are customizable. All right. We land on Nuketown Island, where the nuke has ostensibly, I can't read that word, gone off. Don't make fun of me. The landscape is devastated. A giant signboard on the island shows the number of players at the destination. So if you're playing with a party of 4 and the sign says 7, you know you have 3 other players that you're probably going to have to deal with right away. If you can see the sign, chances are someone else can too. So be wary. Nuketown Island is a loot-rich location. So I quickly scurry underground to hunt for gear. I grab a few different guns, tier 3 armor, a plethora of various health packs, and some scopes. Okay, so we saw some stuff where it showed that there was like an underground area. There's been a lot of talk about the bunker that you see. So it looks like we are going underground, and it's probably going to be that fallout shelter entrance. That is freaking awesome. Okay, we land near another team, and the fight is on almost immediately as I come up out of the bunker. This is a common occurrence in Blackout. Destinations named areas on the map are often contested right away, but survivors enjoy much better loot most of the time. Land outside of them and you may have to make do with lesser options, but you also have a much better chance of avoiding immediate combat. Unfortunately, this game ends quickly as my team is divided around the island and gets picked off as we fail to gather up. Teamwork matters. There's like a little image here that's not showing a whole lot. Oh, okay, well, why am I going to the side here? What's that all about? Why can't I go see the zombie? That is 9. I don't think that's going to be a part of the... Okay, go back. Go back. My hand won't let it go. There we go. A few minutes later, we're dropping again, seeking a less action-packed run. We select an offshoot location, some warehouse and homes. However, we didn't get the solos we were looking for. Another team lands right with us. I pushed the button on a garage door and realized someone on another team landed directly behind me. They're punching me in the back. My health drains rapidly and no guns are in sight. Just a pile of ammo and the throwing hatchet ability for multiplayer right in front of me. The enemy gets me down to about 40 health before I whip the one-shot kill weapon at point-blank range into the generous target presented to me. They go down, and the wall from across the room is satisfying. That's cool. Anyone that plays Battle Royale knows the emergent stories that come out of these games can be awesome. From little momentous rounds of early fisticuff scuffles like this encounter to much bigger ones involving multiple vehicle pileups. And then we're getting a picture right here. This is something that was in the trailer, and it was in the background, and couldn't really tell what map it was. It doesn't look like it identifies with anything we've seen. And I think this might, no, this one doesn't slide over. But that's very, this looks obviously very industrial and almost like a nuclear like power plant or something. I don't know if you guys recognize that at all, but I certainly do not. And I feel like I'm kind of familiar with a lot of the multiplayer maps. But yeah, that is very cool. What is that thing in the middle there? It almost looks like a rocket, launcher. But no. All right. While I showboat and gloat about my hatchet kill around the room, emotes are not yet in the game, though they are being worked on. So that's cool. They're going to get emotes. My team is already under heavy duress in the nearby buildings. Since we landed with another team, weapons are at a premium, and about half of the players in the vicinity are wandering around with nothing as they frantically search buildings under the watchful gaze of their equipped teammates. The next few minutes are a whirlwind as we attempt to locate the last remaining survivor from the other team who is trying to pick off our quad one by one, baiting them into a vulnerable choke point. The lone wolf picks off 3 of us before going down, crippling our team and effectively taking us out of the match. Thankfully, the lobby and the next queue are only moments away, and we're all eager to get back into it. You can spectate or leave and jump right into another round. The choice is yours. The speed at which you can get back into another match takes a lot of the string of defeat out of the equation. A sting. Good Lord. My eyes are a little blurry. I'm seeing doubles. Okay. All right. PvP by land, air, and sea. Vehicles are a big deal in Blackout. The map is large, but the 1,500 nuke towns size Treyarch previously touted doesn't really put things into perspective. From two of the most distant points in the map, it would take around 5 minutes to sprint from one to the other, which means while you won't be forced to find a vehicle to keep up with the game, it sure is a luxury. Okay, 5 minutes to sprint from one to the other. It takes like 7 to 9 minutes to do Fortnite from one end to the other. So that sounded like a Fortnite map, maybe not even as big. I don't know about that. Maybe that's just, yeah, it sounds like it's about the same. I thought it was going to be a lot bigger than Fortnite. Did I read all that? Yeah. In the Blackout beta, some vehicles are available for high mobility and advantageous combat opportunities, each with their own strengths and weaknesses, with more expected to come later. Vehicles are much more than travel devices and can be used in a variety of ways, including just running opponents over. If you're rolling solo, you can even seat swap in a chopper or car, that's cool, and attempt to pilot and gun at the same time in a frenzied fit. Here is a look at vehicles currently available in Blackout. Okay, we got the ATV, one pilot, one passenger. ATVs can get you across the map, create distractions with an annoying horn, and function as a speedy skirmish vehicle for quick and dirty encounters. Blaze by with your partner, shooting and destroy the enemy before they know what hit them. You can also find an ATV early in a match and go off exploring for more. End up with a convoy of 4 ATVs ripping across the land. That would be fun. There's a cargo truck, one pilot, 4 passengers. This truck is an incredibly mobile arsenal. Unlike other vehicles, the cargo truck functions as a storage unit. Really? What the heck are you going to put in it? Or you can stack up a ton of loot. That's cool. And be better prepared for any situation. While you may not want to commit one of your 2 primary weapon slots to a rocket launcher during tiny house breaches, it's great to have one handy on the back of the truck for when a chopper appears overhead. The truck also features non-traditional seating. Players can crouch and lay prone in the back for additional cover. That's really awesome. I've never played PUBG, but I know they have vehicles. I don't know if these are better. If they sound better. Y'all are funny. # murdered Fortnite. Okay, this is the helicopter. Little Bird. 1 pilot, 4 passengers. This helicopter is a blast to play with and gives players the chance to unleash hell from above on targets below. As you can imagine, letting loose with multiple players and guns from the air is a huge advantage until it's not. While the Little Bird is awesome, it's also vulnerable, and if you're not careful, your entire team can be taken out with a single well-placed rocket. We saw that in the trailer. A sniper that takes out the pilot, or even just bad piloting into a warehouse, that's probably going to be me. That said, the Little Bird is easily my favorite vehicle as pilot or passenger. It controls well when you hop in the first time. The Zodiac, the boat, 1 pilot, 3 passengers. This boat is strictly for water travel, and it's a great way to navigate the huge forking river that cuts a swath through the middle of the map. So it sounds like there's just one giant river. All right, that's interesting. Taking to the air. Next, let me get some water. Oh my God, you guys, reading live out loud is a workout. All right. Next match. I request we get to the chopper, as I'd love to pilot or just hang off the side of one and shoot. Vehicles are not lacking on the map, and you can quickly learn the places that little birds are most likely to spawn. That's good to know. The helipad at the estates looks like a good place to start. So my team goes off the beaten path and takes a long drop towards luxury. There's a basketball court on the grounds, and you can shoot some hoops there if you take into account that the ball takes up a weapon slot and leaves you vulnerable to any passerbys. I'm wondering if that would be like a little hidden thing. You got to shoot a certain amount of hoops or something like that to unlock something. The game world has other just for fun interactive objects for players to hunt down. One of the things I immediately noticed in Blackout is that weapons are plentiful. You rarely need to scavenge through multiple houses or landmarks before finding something to shoot. I don't know. I like the challenge of, finding good stuff. Maybe there's stuff, but some of it's just garbage. The first moments of a match are often furious and frenzied, and fists may come into play, but the hunt for anything to defend yourself isn't often a real problem. Instead, the early stages of a match are about upgrading your loot and developing the weapons you like via attachments like suppressors, scopes, and grips. Now we're getting another image here. I think we've seen this one earlier today. Charlie Intel posted it. Got some ATVs. Look at that bridge up there. You got some players up on the bridge, so that is accessible. And I think we've seen some people wingsuiting off that in the trailer. So nothing too crazy there. You can carry 2 weapons at any given time, swapping out guns you don't like for new ones or as required by your ammo situation. So that's interesting. I mean, they are going, multiplayer, style. You get 2. You don't get like 5 weapons. There are 8 different types of ammunition. Blackout uses a quick equip system, so anything you pick up is immediately attached and equipped. In practice, the instant equipping makes a lot of sense given the intense nature of the game. You are going to want that gun in hand, grenade available, and scope attached as soon as possible. If you don't like an attachment, you can quickly jump into a menu and move things around as you please. Well, that's cool. You can also find coveted gold guns from special chests. These are significantly better than standard weapons and come with pre-attached augments and enhancements. Oh my God, I hit my mic. I'm sorry. I hope that wasn't loud. Our location choice pays off when I find one of these spec'd out Titan light machine guns amidst the estate's expensive cars, fancy art, and swimming pool. These chests have set spawn locations, but they don't spawn every game. Good to know. And then is this the estate? Oh, that's cool. Oh, dude, check it out. Is that the buried maze? Oh my God. It looks like, I don't know, you guys. I mean, obviously that's not the witch's house, but that is totally looks like the buried maze. I don't think it is, but it could be. That's awesome. No, and maybe it is. No, because you got like a gazebo in the middle. I don't know if I can no, I can't expand it. So, but yeah, this is the estate. So go for the estate. There could be a golden chest location there with golden guns. Is there anything else we're missing? Obviously, this is a brand new building, right? I guess. That's buried maze in Varuk. Is that Varuk? I've never seen the outside of a Rook, so I don't know. Buried and Rook crammed together? I don't know. You guys could be right. Huh. Okay. The scavenging done, I finally get the chance to hop in the Little Bird. The controls are intuitive, even to a novice. But air travel comes with significant risks. These choppers are easy to shoot down, especially with rocket launchers, but being able to speed over the map is worth the trade-off. Teammates can lean out the side of the bird ready to fire upon anything on the ground with a huge advantage. As in other Battle Royale games, the field of play is dictated by a circle, here we go, that gets smaller and smaller, forcing the action. Blackout's closing circle also destroys items and can punish players who get too greedy trying to skirt the confines of play. Okay. If you attempt this in a Little Bird, it could cause helicopter malfunctions that bring your whole team crashing to the ground. But she doesn't say what it looks like. I don't know if this is a chick. Could be a dude. The circle also collapses into nothing in Blackout. Meaning it will eventually engulf everything if players somehow manage to avoid each other in the tiny final area. In true Treyarch fashion, players essentially experience vivid auditory and visual hallucinations outside of the latter circles. Don't imagine yourself in that frozen forest. Luckily, our air adventure occurred. Oh my God, let me read this freaking sentence. Luckily, our air adventure occurs without incidents, and I drop my team off inside the circle, ready for action. So you hallucinate? That's cool. Oh yeah, here's a shot of some pretty tall buildings. I don't know if this is recognized. If you guys know what that is. It looks new to me. Oh, here's another shot. Oh, I like this one. That's cool. Look at that boat. You can get right up into the little dock there, like a little boathouse. That's so cool. There's Scarlet on the left. That's Takio. Nice. That's cool. Okay, more to read. A lot of frenetic looting occurs in the next few moments. We suspect a few other teams are in the area, so I stick a sensor dart in a nearby building, giving my team radar ping locations of nearby foes. Sadly, it reveals multiple teams are converging on our shack, and one of us gets a little too ambitious and goes down. As the circle moves in, more people die. The chopper ends up outside the circle, so one of our survivor from the squad and I must continue on foot. We're among the last 10 remaining players. The circle culls players quickly, as it was meant to. I get shot through a window by a sniper whose teammates distracted me with monkey bombs and smoke. Ooh, I wonder what the monkey bombs do. I mean, what are you gonna do? You know, they attract zombies. They gotta do something a little bit more than that. Only 2 players were left, one of them being my teammate. Despite everyone else being dead, no one had left the game. We were all spectating. The intensity and tension inside final circles have a hypnotic effect, creating highly viewable situations that are almost like watching an unlucky victim open a door in a horror film, sucking in your breath and shouting, "No, don't do that," as you witness minuscule actions that could change the game in a heartbeat. All right, now we're going to look at powerful perks and consumables. Blackout features some special perks that you won't find in standard multiplayer alongside tweaked versions of multiplayer perks. Check out some of the abilities you can use to get an edge on the battlefield. All right, Paranoia gives an audio alert when you're targeted by an enemy. Skulker, move faster while crouched and prone. Stimulant, increases max health by 100 points. Outlander, reduce damage from circle. Nice. Increase speed while taking damage. Interesting. While taking damage from the circle. Looter, reveal nearby stashes and items. That will be a really good one. Iron Lungs, hold your breath longer while shooting sniper rifles or diving underwater. Consumer, reduces time it takes to use items, heal, or revive teammates by 20%. So we're reviving each other. That's awesome. Instead of being permanent boosts, the perks are consumable with a set duration that only lasts a few minutes. So timing usage is essential if you're hoping to win. Using a lot of perks early can give you an edge, but then you may find your supplies dry when you need them later in the final circle. Many abilities from Black Ops 4 multiplayer like Grapple Gun and Cluster Grenade make their way into Blackout as consumables. A grapple gun may come with 5 charges, while a sensor dart may come with a single shot. One of the coolest unique items in Blackout is a consumable Reconnaissance robot. It doesn't seem incredible at first, since it can't blow people up or collect items. But knowledge is power, and discovering that a player is hiding in a bed of bushes just over the hill north of your position can be the difference between a big win or a devastating defeat. Using the tiny bot takes you out of first person and leaves you vulnerable during the investigative process. So finding safe spot to do recon is an important part of the process. Makes sense. My teammate is secretly scouted by an unobtrusive robotic contraption, giving the enemy an exact location for tossing a game-deciding flashbang. An unceremonious but epic end to the game occurs as a blinding light engulfs my teammate, followed by a salvo of gunfire. And then this is a shot of turbine. That's cool. We've seen that a lot. It's so interesting, the maps are all so open and, they're different. So it'll be cool to see stuff from the outside that we're not used to seeing. Derek, no classified trailer yet. It's got any day now, right? Any day now. Let's have a look. Oh, here's another shot of turbine. Probably don't want to fly a helicopter into those blades, right? This map looks huge, but they don't actually make it sound like it's bigger than Fortnite, but it looks ginormous. A game ends, a new game begins. They all have stories. They may not be a curated experience of mind-bending mayhem that Treyarch is known for, but there is a lot to be said about players creating their own memorable moments, cobbled together and crafted from the Blackout toolbox. That time when you ran a cargo truck over two fully geared players who were running for the circle. That time when you sniped a chopper pilot and brought down an entire enemy team skirting the edge of the play zone. These are sandbox-style stories being created every time, whether you go out in an early fistfight or epic vehicle battle. I'm a few matches in now and starting to get the hang of things. The game runs smoothly for a pre-beta build, hovering right around 60 frames per second on the PlayStation 4 Pro. What's more, I started to discover new and interesting applications for the multiplayer abilities that turn into powerful consumables in Blackout. A sensor dart, for instance, is a simple tool on the surface. You shoot it and it gives valuable radar information and shows enemy locations. But here in the open world, you can get far more imaginative. You can stick the dart on a car or a chopper to give you a mobile intelligence network and watch as it provides you information from far away. That's cool. You can hole up in an attic as the circle dials down to nothing and make use of razor wire or trip mines. I got cat hair on my phone. I can't see that. I'm reading from my phone. You can put a recon bot on a boat, send a boat far downriver, and end up with critical information before moving in with your actual team. I'm beginning to see all kinds of ways to interact with the environment and the various applications of the boatload of toys available in Blackout, and it's an enjoyable journey of discovery. Ooh, this is where we get locations. The map has, oh, seriously, my eyes are getting dry. Hang on. It's more water. Everything's going to start looking backwards here in a second. The map has a number of named locales, and many should be familiar to Call of Duty veterans. Some are faithful recreations or expanded versions of classic locations in the Black Ops universe. Even from Zombies mode, the map also has several new regions, like a fracking station and a skyscraper under construction that offers a great sniping vantage point. Yes, there you go. So that fracking station I think we saw in the skyscrapers, that's new. I'm glad that they cleared that up because I spent a lot of time researching some of that stuff. I'm like, I cannot find that. I don't know where that is. Looking for a spot to hit, you can pull up the map at any time and place easy to spot markers at any point of interest you like. These are the most loot-rich destinations in Blackout, and the team says a certain northern coastal spot is likely to be next on the list. All right. Estates. Here's the list of the locations. The rich neighborhood has a giant helipad where a little bird can spawn. Good location if you want a shot at getting a chopper early. Construction site. The unfinished skyscraper has a ton of loot and lots of opportunities to base jump out of the high areas to safety if things get too hot. So we've seen the estates. I guess that was what we were seeing that looked like the buried maze. Next to the buried maze, the construction site was that skyscraper. Oh, array. There you go. That's what I was talking about. That those satellites. A few slices of elevation and place centered around the big relay dish make a brutal war zone with lots of cover. Nuketown Island. Lots of gear underground in the bunkers and lively action potential above ground, spurred on by a sign that identifies how many players are active here. That is so cool. So they got that thing working, the Nuketown sign. Firing range, the hottest of the hot spots. If you want instant action with plenty of players, this is your go-to destination. Hydro Dam. Big base jumps and deadly falls make up the critical point at the end of the map's lengthy forking river. Asylum, this is Varuk. You never know if you're going to run into zombies as well as other players landing here. And while an early zombie supply stash is tempting, undead interference during your early loot and scoot can be dangerous. All right, so you're going to have some real zombies there like we had seen in the trailer. We didn't know if that was going to be a thing, but it sounds like yes. Definitely zombies. And early zombie supply stash. Huh. Wonder what that could be. Wonder how deadly those zombies are. That's the first place I'm going. Cargo docks. Lots of elevation changes, a ship to roam on, and a giant crane arm. Great place to pick up a boat spawn. Factory. Lots of battles that go indoor, outdoor with rooftop ambush action. Fracking Tower. Tower located in a depression, highly exposed to the hills surrounding it. Turbine. Bridge-to-bridge combat, large internal and exterior areas, lots of desert and rocks to battle behind. River Town. Urban combat, building-to-building fighting, perfect for close-range encounters, only area on the map surrounded completely by water. Train station. Long sightlines and train car to train car combat. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 locations that they're talking about, and that there could be more added. All right, so I think this is about the end of the article. It's going to talk about Zombie Royale. Okay. Battle Royale games often have a hook to incentivize players to head in a particular direction on the map, a collision risk reward scenario that gets the action moving. One of the major ways Blackout does this is by introducing AI zombies in designated regions. Instead of using an indicator on the map that zombies are spawning, a brilliant ray of light shines down on their active location with up to 2 zombie spawn areas available at any given time. You need to pay attention to see where the zombies are and then determine the risk of engagement, because rewards can be sweet. Okay, so there's going to be like the mystery box light probably beam in the sky and up to 2 zombie spawn areas, and you're going to be able to like grab an AI zombie there. That's kind of cool. Instead of using an indicator, okay, brilliant ray of light shines down on their active location. Huh. Okay, that's cool. In the next round, we head to one of these destinations, Asylum, Varuk. Zombie spawns are manageable compared to traditional zombies modes. Just a handful of them are active at a time, but killing them spends valuable ammunition, and the noise of your gunfire makes it easy for players to get the drop on you while you're occupied with the undead. Savvy players can easily move into critical sightlines or hammer you from behind while you're distracted. On the plus side, zombies drop loot, and their active locations feature a coveted zombie supply stash, which can contain powerful and rare weapons and items like the, I don't know how to say that, Zweihandler, ray gun, or monkey bomb. How do you say that word? I don't know. Engaging the undead, it's German. Engaging the undead is optional, as they are only available in tiny slices of the map at certain times. That ray gun would be cool. If you just want to forget they exist, you can. If you want to jump into a situation that's almost sure to have some action and maybe come out suited and booted, the blazing beam in the sky leads you to potential greatness. That's freaking cool. I wish they would show the beam in the sky, but I don't think they are. All right, so here we have like a water tower, farm area. Oh God, what is that doing? Don't go away. Dude, whoa, what's it doing? Please stop. Please stop. I don't know how to make that stop. Oh God. What's it doing? Oh no, I don't know how to make that go down. I don't know how to make that go away. Oh God. Oh, that made me nervous there. All right, let's go back. There we go. Anyways, yeah, I don't know what that location is. But you can see like a house on the right. That's like a farm area. And it, you know, she just talked about Varuk, so maybe Varuk is in this location. I keep saying she. I don't know if it's a female that wrote this article. It's probably a dude. I need to stop that. All right, multiple teams and NPC ghouls are waiting for us when we start looting. Even in loot-rich areas like these, you can still end up vastly underprepared when 10 plus people are all scrambling to find weapons. The zombies add to the chaos, ripping chunks of health out of unarmed players. I scramble up the steps of the decrepit old building and grab a weapon. Turning around, I take out an enemy with a hail of gunfire, making sure I pump a few extra rounds into them after they're downed so their teammates can resurrect them. Then I get an unfortunate good look at zombie interference as a brain eater jumps into my line of fire just as one of the downed players' teammates roll up the stairs and empties a weapon into me. He doesn't finish me off since the zombies are messing with him too. My team takes him out, picks me up, and shares some bandages which are easy to split from your inventory. Okay. Player health starts at 150 in Blackout, but it can be enhanced to greater numbers with perks. Multiple health items are available, including basic bandages, trauma kits, and king-size med kits. Quality varies, but there are no restrictions in terms of restoration. Unlike other battle royales, you can still use basic band-aids to take you back to your health cap. Health items are critical and numerous. We're feeling especially saucy since this game kicked off with a big win at Asylum, so we press our luck and look for another great beam in the sky, each of which indicates another zombie den. I wonder if it's going to be like zombies all over the place, not just Varuk. On the way, I jump in the river to get a feel for how water works in Blackout. The river has a current, so you may struggle to swim upstream if you're navigating waters without a Zodiac watercraft. You can fire underwater just fine, and mobility is still high, so you're not a sitting duck. In fact, hiding under bridges and taking a dip can be an effective defense for avoiding roaming choppers. We make it to the diner, and the ray of light is shining down and starts shining down on and starts slaughtering zombies. Ammo and other loot pop from their bodies as they drop. So ammo, okay. Of course, the prospect of a zombie stash attracts attention, and we find ourselves under heavy, long-range fire from a hilltop tree line. I guess this is, yeah, so this is, I guess, their perspective. I'm hoping these pictures are going along with, you know, what they're doing. Looks like we're getting close to like a cargo map situation in this picture. And there's a stash, a loot drop or something, supply drop. Fortunately, I've got a sniper, a nice scope, and a backpack, one size only, that gives me additional carrying capacity. I'm ready to pop some perks, which take up inventory space and take on a team. Bullet drop is a factor in Blackout, and it takes me a few shots to dial in on a prone opponent obscured by a bush. Wow, bullet drop, okay. Weapon damage has been slightly altered compared to multiplayer, a touch that makes fights last a bit longer than usual. It makes sense as there's a bit more invested in Blackout compared to modes where you can respawn instantly. So you're definitely going to have to work on somebody and put several bullets into them. So I down the hiding soldier with a few nicely placed shots from behind the diner. Diner? What diner? They just all of a sudden are starting talking about a diner, a transit diner. Instead of finishing off my enemy at the gate's opponent, I stop firing, duck out of sight, and hope that one of my adversaries, Good Samaritans, falls for my ruse. The bait works, and another member of the enemy team shambles down the hill to help my fallen foe. Completely exposed and running downhill, a few well-placed shots later, and they're down as well. My intense sniper skirmish lasts less than a minute, with my teammates and the opposing team all scrambling around looking for cover and making plays of their own. While I was popping in and out of cover, my team had moved into a flanking position and gunned down the other opponents, trying to lock down my position. We sift through the enemy satchels, loading up on health items, smoke, and ammo. Then we take off on a couple of ATVs toward the final circle. With only 17 players remaining and the whole crew is still alive, things are looking good. And we got some silos here with the farm. Yeah, these images are just like kind of confusing. I don't think it's lining up with the story that they're telling here and their gameplay. But you got some cornfields. Hey, cornfields. Transit. No. Curious about that diner, though. Okay, that changes pretty fast as we get locked down in a tiny house with big windows, taking fire from multiple directions and multiple teams. We do a great job fighting back with big losses suffered by all teams involved. By the time we get out of there, we're down to 8 players in the game, 2 of them in my squad. I wish I could say that we ended up taking the game, but in our frenzied effort to loot the pile of corpses and sprint to the final circle, our guard was down just long enough for a cargo truck to come plowing through, running my teammate over while slinging smoke and cluster bombs on me. All right, Blackout by the numbers. As it currently stands, Blackout has 3 tiers of health and armor. Okay. 8 primary ammunition types, 12 equipment items, 17 consumable perks, 17 weapon attachments, 24 different weapons, and 125 items. These numbers could change before the game launches. All right, a new contender emerges. How long is this article? I played Blackout for over 2 hours, and the battles flew by. The pacing, the shooting, and the map size all feel great. The vehicles are awesome to roam around in, whether you're scouting, unleashing an aerial assault, making a mobile stockpile, or ripping down the river. Wingsuits and base jumping give you unparalleled mobility. Zombies provide a tension spike in the action and incentivize players to collide. I was initially concerned that many of the items were multiplayer abilities, but the grappling guns, sensor darts, razor wire, and barricades all have wide applications in Battle Royale. Even at this pre-launch state, Treyarch says Blackout has undergone extensive changes. The map itself has been rebooted 3 times. Damn. The skyscraper was much, much taller, so tall people could get dizzy rushing up and down it. There was much more of a scavenging element, with players needing to assemble pieces to craft items like the grappling gun. All these changes are just the beginning. Shipping is like halftime at a football game, Vonderhaar says. More characters, missions, items, weapons, and vehicles are all on the way. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's Nuketown. Nuketown Island. That's awesome. So this is definitely like the zombies blown up version. I don't see how it's island though. I mean, this must be a huge island. You can see the little, I wish I could zoom in. You can see the little sign right there. That's so cool. Well, this article was really informative, really good information that people are going to need when starting at this game, and that's very cool. Definitely give you an advantage to know about some of the golden loot chests and how to find the zombies and stuff like that. But yeah, that's very cool. I think this is the end of the art. Oh, no, we're still going. We're still going. The prospect of a constantly evolving living map and mode is tantalizing, and it already has me hooked. While other Battle Royale games have attempted to entrench themselves with first mover advantages, Blackout is poised to be a powerful grenade hurled into those bunkers. After spending hundreds of hours in the genre, I walked away incredibly impressed with Blackout and eager for more triple chopper battles and zombie-interrupted duels. Paired with Zombies mode and the traditional competitive multiplayer suit, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 looks to be primed for a big year. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Holy smokes. I can't believe I got through all that. So, the link for this is you have to subscribe to Game Informer magazine, and I'm reading it from their online Google Play Store that I had to pay a subscription to read it. So that's why I was like, I'll just, show it to you guys in a live stream, and I'm going to leave this video up if you guys want to go back and, re-listen. So, it says reindeer. This is not pre-recorded. That is me live reading. I've never read live before. I think I did it once, but that is definitely challenging. That's for sure. I don't know if I was gonna completely bomb or not. I missed a couple of words, so don't laugh at me again. So, let's see achievements beneath. Oh, is this the achievements? Trophy earned. Trick arrow skills. No, that's a different game. This is going. Oh, wait, no, wait, what? Is that a video? No, that's... Oh shit, what is this? For more information... Oh wait, can I play this? I guess so. Oh, I can't get the volume. Well, that's not going to help. There's no volume. Dang. I'll try to post this on... I'll post this on Twitter so you guys can hear it, because the way that I've got this set up, you can't hear it through this, so... but yeah, I'll have this video up if you guys want to check it out. I'm going to have to probably read all this again just to make sure I've got a good idea of what's going on in this mode and, again, have an advantage. But I appreciate you guys showing up, and we'll see you guys a little bit later. I think I have a live reading later tonight for the Call of Duty Zombies #2 comic. It's the first issue. I've got some early access to it, and so I'm going to probably do a live stream and read the comic to you guys. I think I'm so excited about it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll see you later on.